Yeah.
Influencers has been the talk of the town the last, I think, actually since 2011, when
Yeah.
when we got when I think we engaged with them to write blogs and create, and of course over time it expanded to creating Insta videos, YouTube, and where they become brand ambassadors almost, where
Mm.
uh, there seems to be some shift in thought, saying, I don't want to listen to an influencer because it seems fake, or not authentic as a
Yeah. I
communication.
mean, if 3 out of 10 influencers who got influenced naturally by the virtue of great product knowledge and the virtue of being generalist and virtue of being unbiased suddenly becomes biased, then it kind of spoils the entire basket. So that has happened, right? 20 or 30% of the influencers do work for money and only for brands and will do whatever is being asked to, the brands tell them to say. Now the problem is, think about the other perspective. There is an influencer who spent thousands and lakhs of rupees, on content creation, on maybe content promotion to reach where she is. Now today, if the only way she can monetize or she can get her money back is by partnering with brands, she kind of falls in the trap of the brand diktat, right? That means a big brand will come to her and say, look, I'm going to give you a lakh for this video, but make sure you talk about these 3 points and no negative. Now, this does not happen in the United States, right? Because what they will do is, this is the product, take it up. If you like it, you could just go out and express about it. And then if you don't like the influencer, you don't work with the influencers next time. But you do not tell the influencer what to talk about. But here, what people or the brands did was that, look, I've got a gun. I'm pointing it towards you. If you talk right, that gun converts into a metal arm, a gold arm, and then I'll keep extending my golden arm to you. Otherwise, it's a gun on top of your head. These are difficult times, right? Not all the influencers are from affluent background, right? They have made investment and they probably never thought of a business initially, but it is a business, at the end of the day. So some people had to go that path, and people started losing interest. But everything is not that bad. There are still some very, very powerful, very strong, very respected influencers. And I think as long as that exists, influencer marketing will always be fine. It's just that the idea of good influencer and bad influencer will keep changing.
In the influencer marketing space, and now it's become a space, and I think they're now classified
Yeah.
into micro influencer and large influencer. How does a brand think about using influencers? Because I know it is also has become expensive. It used to be, hey, here is a product, or here's a service, try it out, and if you like it, talk about us, right? And which I think is majority of why these influencers also do it, because they get to try new things, and they are the first ones to talk about it. And that's changed, right? Because now, like you're saying, there is cash involved and monetary incentives. So how should a brand think about it? And where do you think, um, is there a line to be
So
drawn?
first, when you're new, just give your products to influencer and tell them whatever you want to speak, talk about it. Just talk about us, because even if you say the product is not good, that's an input for us to improve. So go all out, build a relationship which is not on money, which is more on trust and respect. That, look, I really like your content, but I'm giving you products to review. I don't expect you to talk great about me by the fact that I'm giving you the products. Talk whatever you want to talk about it, and whatever you talk about it, we'll take it as a feedback and we'll work on it. If it's good, we'll tap ourselves on the back. If it's not good, we'll try to work towards it. When you start with that, the influencers also start respecting you. In fact, most of them will not even ask for money, right? They will be happy with you making them a part of their business, right? Because you're listening to them, and the influencers are representing people at large. Start from there, get some people on your side, get some influencers really, really working closely with you. Eventually, then once you get into a big kick-ass launch or big kick-ass sale, then you can do bigger partnerships which are monetizable, right? Which you have to pay. But I think initially it's just relationship building, which means making them a part of your product decision journey through regular feedback. And I think respect for them right now is bigger than cash, to be honest.